Okay, hello. Hi, we are back playing Variable Barricade, which we unharmoniously left last time because Prim redeemed to switch games because it was getting a little bit exhausting to be trapped with a character who was refusing just to say she was hungry to people. I don't know what's gonna happen. And I will say this again, and I think I've been saying this since I started this game. I was told in advance that this game has issues. So I don't know what kind of issues we're gonna run into continuously, but I've had people already comment on the VODs on YouTube saying, get ready. Like, I'm so, so confused. But welcome back, and I hope you guys are having a great time. As a note, if you live in the Phoenix area, this end of August, start of September, Labor Day weekend, I believe we usually refer to it as, there's going to be a convention, and I will be in attendance, and I am going to be doing a panel about Atome, and I'm going to be working on that. There's also going to be something on Discord here in a couple days. I was waiting to be sure I was on the schedule, because just because they say you're going to be on the schedule doesn't mean you're on it, before I posted it, so I kept saying this was going to happen, and it kept not happening. But this is going to be for the 9-rip photo cards. I bought a second set, so I'm going to post on our Discord. You don't have to follow me on Twitch exclusively. If you're on Twitch or on YouTube and you follow me, you can take part in this contest. And it's really just you are going to share the deades that fit the types that we're going to have. So I'm going to have a post for each of the deades. It's going to be a special subcategory on Discord. And once the winner has been selected and the price has been shipped, and the panel has happened, that Discord channel is going to disappear. So just be prepared for that. I'm going to be working on that for the next couple days just to get it posted with all the details and the rules and whatnot. So just be ready for that. I'm excited. I'm super excited. I've just been like impatiently waiting for my schedule. So I was like, hi, where is it? And they finally, the thing was they were trying to get it at the hotel I requested because it's a game. So if you've ever been to Sabo, if you haven't been to Sabo, starting last year, I think last year was the first year we've done this, where we're split between two hotels. There's the Sheraton and then there's the Renaissance. And the Renaissance is where we do games. So we have, you can check out board games, you can play video games, you can do D&D. There's a lot of other fun stuff that they do there. And I specifically asked if my panel could be there because it's about video games. So it took just a tiny bit longer to get it set up there. Because they usually just put you on a slot, so they weren't prepared for it to be like, can I be at this one? So we have it up. I am official. I've made a post about it on Instagram, and I'm gonna make some more signs, but I'm really excited to start putting it together. I'm hoping I can put together something really cool, something really useful, and if I can't stream it, which I'm gonna try to stream it, I am at least gonna record it, and I'll probably also do some voiceover work with this and post it afterwards if I can't live stream it. That way I can show the panels full screen that I'm gonna make instead of just like, that word, instead of just like the screen you're gonna see on the cameras. Like, I don't know how to describe that right. So instead of just like, here is this cut from the event, and then here is an actual thing from the event kind of stuff. I'm excited. I'm gonna be doing a little bit more editing than I usually do. It's gonna be a thing. Alright, so this is the name of this chapter, and honestly, I feel this in my heart. So previously, on his little route, she was not eating a lot for breakfast, she was not eating a lot for dinner, and it's because he makes her tinier portions because she's a girl, and apparently we don't like that much food because we're petite, or specifically she is petite. I am petite, I'm just, petite just means short, by the way. I am petite. So she's starving. Her one reprieve was going to school and eating a really big lunch, and then he showed up at school with a super tiny meal for her there too, and he took her facade for reality because she has a personality that she shows everybody in the world that is different from when she is able to show herself. And so he took that at face value and thought she was warming up to him at the same time. And I kind of hate it. I just kind of hate it. All right, so this one it says, I can't take it anymore. Common food doesn't suit me. What? For real? That's it? I'm fed up, dude. She was rejected. Curry. I love curry. I had curry recently. It wasn't because of this, but
おはよ
oh
う
my
お嬢
god.
さん。今日も素敵な君にぴったりなスペシャルモーニングを用意したよ。
I don't like them. Good morning, Leah. Once again, I've whipped up a stunning breakfast that's every bit as special as you are. Ichia put a plate in front of me with a single pancake on it that was no bigger than my palm. It was topped by 3 blueberries, a few decorative flourishes of whipped ice cream, and even some delicately placed silver confito bread.
このヨーグルトもどうぞ。濃厚だよ。
Placed silver confito bread. Beads. I added letters. There is yogurt for you too. Here, it's extra thick. The little cup held maybe 3 spoonfuls of yogurt. I didn't say anything. I simply took up my fork and knife and cut the tiny pancake into even tinier pieces. Placing one teeny bite in my mouth, I chewed it daintily. Then I turned towards Ichia and smiled a gentle, kind smile.
美味しい。
It's delicious.
そうだろう。君を朝から幸せに
If
す
only
る
there
こ
was
とがで
enough
きて、
for me to
俺
eat.
は最高に嬉しいよ。
Isn't it? I made sure it was. After all, making you happy first thing in the morning is one of my greatest honors in my life. Another note, they literally said, he loves you the most or something. He doesn't even know her. Which is also killing me. Rid of a chapstick on before I start. I put this on 4 times. You're in a stream anyways. It's not that weird. I just have dry bodies. This damn problem can be solved so fast, but no. Yeah, this is where I'm at mentally. I'm dying. I made sure it was. After all, making you happy first thing in the morning is one of the greatest honors. Hi, I hate
い
this.
つもありがとう。
I feel like it took me an hour to start my stream because part of me is like, do I want to do this? I don't know. This might be like my Jack gene. If I get through one route and I decide maybe I don't want to keep going, maybe I won't. I don't know. There's parts, so I've been hearing from other people who's played this game. There's parts that are good, there's parts that are not good. I don't know. I just don't know. Thank you for everything you do. Shut up. Don't thank him for this. If only you would do it like times 10. Hi, wonderful people. Hello, Muma.
おい、お嬢。頭でも打ったのかよ。
Babe, did you maybe fall out of bed and hit your head this morning? I hope she did. Also, Muma, did you see my super long list of Switch games? That's only my Switch games. I still need to add my stream games. I need to add my Xbox and PlayStation games. The one thing with my Xbox and PlayStation, those live in my living room, and when I stream those, because I had to do it for my Xbox, I have to bring that into this room and then plug it up to this TV. So that's going to be one of those things where I might not do too often. I thought about buying another one. Okay, I'll check it out. Yeah, I thought about adding you. That's not all of them, actually, because after I posted it, I realized I thought I could go... Should I wait till the end of stream for next time? You could, or if we get burnt out on this one again today, we could maybe switch. We're not gonna... No, we need to play this. We got to do it, Prim. So, but maybe in an hour or two, depending on how we're feeling, we might switch games. But that's not my entire list. After I edit it more, I think it's at 156 games. That's how many Switch games I own. Yay! Let me know when you are burned out. Okay, I'll let you know. Also, there's games I own through Game Pass, because we have Game Pass, which is Xbox's fun little, I call it Netflix for video games. So like there is a night market game on that, and there's other things. I don't want to put that on my list because I technically don't own them. I'm always burnt out. Honestly, that's a mood. I feel it. So if you can see it, I don't know if you're able to view what's on Game Pass, but if you can view what's on Game Pass for PC, I can play those games. However, there's a caveat to that. I currently have installed My Time at Sandrock, Something Island, Coral Island, and the Mini Neko Night Market, which is a very cute game where you collect kitty cats. And I have Turnip Boy Robs a Bank on there, but I also own Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion, which is the first one. I don't know if they are really related in a way where you would have to play the first one to understand the second one, but I have it. I need my energy recharger, human boohoo. I'm so sorry. I don't know where they are right now.
あ、それか。何か悪いもの食べたとか。お腹は大丈夫なんですか？
Maybe she ate something funny. Are you feeling okay? You don't feel sick to your stomach, do you? My kids play Turnip Boy. See, it's super cute, right?
一夜に関する記憶消えちゃってる？
Perhaps our memories of Ichiya were wiped clean. Ichiya snorted at the others, who were all staring at me with funny looks.
まったく。どうしてそうなるんだ？俺はお嬢さんを幸せにする努力をしてるんだよ。喜ばれるのは当然だろう。
She's like malnutrition suddenly, and so she's just not getting enough. What's that word? It's like it's not fat exactly, but she's not getting enough. What's that word for it? It's nutrients, but there's a specific word from her food that she can't function as a human anymore. I don't think there's an issue playing them in order. There might be some references you don't get, but eh. They're all just vegetables that talk. I mean, really, what could go wrong? Guys, is it really that weird? I'm putting a lot of time and effort into making Leah happy. Of course, she's going to enjoy what I make for her.
いろいろと工夫してくれて感謝してるわ。
Yes,
ごち
I'm
そうさま。
grateful for the interesting twist you put on my dishes. Thank you. The words were no sooner out of my mouth than Ichiya presented me with a small cloth-wrapped box.
今日のランチだよ。君好みに作ったから。
Your lunch for you today. I made it just the way you like it. You absolutely know nothing about her. This is the part that's killing me. Like, you don't know her well enough to say that. Ichiya tipped his usual cheesy wink. I smiled
あ
at
りが
him.
とう。行ってきます。
Thanks. I'll be back this afternoon.
いってらっしゃい。
See you then. Have fun.
すごい。お嬢さんが一夜さんに笑って
Wow.
た。
Leah actually smiled at Ichiya.
マジでやべえぞあれ。
There's something wrong here. Is she an alien
ス
clone?
トレスは肌の大敵なんだけど大丈夫かな？
I hope there's nothing seriously wrong with her. Stress is terrible for the skin. Also, Shion reminds me of, there was this book I read. I think it was called Cinder. Could have been called something else. It is a play on Cinderella. Maybe it was called Ash. I can't remember. But instead of like a fairy godmother, there was an elf that she met. A fae, if you will, a fairy. I don't really know exactly which character it is. And he was inhuman, and there was some weird characteristics about him. And Shion reminds me of that person, because some of his answers are vague, and he worries about the skin. Stress is terrible for the skin. Something seriously is wrong. Like, I just picture that fae man. Don't eat it.
足りますの？
Will that be enough? No, go eat your normal food. Spending energy to answer would only make me hungrier, so I simply picked up the mini sandwich wrap. Yes, the sandwich was cute to look at. It was cut into tiny bites and wrapped in colorful paper, but none of the tiny pieces amounted to a single bite.
よければこれ召し上がりません？
You literally don't have to eat this. She is out of the house. She doesn't have to be forced to eat this. Why is this happening? If you like, I'll share my lunch with you. I'm getting heated again. Sumiki offered one of her small rice balls to me. It was a plain and simple one, just white rice wrapped in a sheet of nori seaweed. Looking at it suddenly made my throat tighten and tears well up in my eyes. I wanted to take it. I wanted to shove the whole thing in my mouth, and for some reason, I don't have the ability to. I shook my head.
いいの。ありがとう。
Was she really quiet? Why is she so quiet? Is that me? I just turned my volume way down on my headset. That's alright, thank you. Sumiki looked at me worriedly, but right then 2 other girls walked past our table.
東条様のお弁当かわいい。
Look, Miss Tojo's lunch is so cute. What if you had accidentally forgot it in the chauffeur's car? Be like, come on, girl. Ate it on the way to lunch. Ate it on the way to school because you're already being underfed at breakfast, and then just get a normal freaking lunch at school. Tojo's lunch is so cute.
婚約者様のお手製ですわ。
I'm sure her fiance must have handmade it for her. I heard their whispers and felt their eyes boring holes into me. I know. I popped a bite of the mini sandwich wrapped into my mouth and dutifully turned up the corners of
と
my
っても
lips.
美味しい。
It's absolutely delicious. Leah, this is ridiculous. Yeah, no, Sumiki, I also agree. Sumiki sounded exasperated. I looked
これ
away.
はかなり悪い傾向ですわよ。
Ma'am, you have a butler. Dude, she's got... And guess what exists out in this world? There is a cafeteria behind her. This has taken a very bad turn.
あなたが行動に気をつけるべき立場なのは私も重々承知しております。
Leah, I am aware you are in a social position where you must always pay attention to how you act in
です
public.
が、それは外でのお話ですわ。彼らの前で態度を取り繕っても、後々ご自分が苦しむだけですのよ。
However, that is only in public. Putting on a public face when you're in private with them will only make things more difficult for you later. Let me explain that to you because you're an idiot. That means you have a facade or you wear masks. You do that in socials. You shouldn't have to do it 24 hours a day because it is exhausting to be acting a certain way just to make people happy. You need to be able to remove that and be your true self, and you're not doing it anymore. She cast a meaningful glance at my lunchbox as if to say, look at how far that has already gone.
5次元目は体育ですわよ。本当に大丈夫ですの？
You have gym class 5th period today. Are you sure you'll have enough energy for it? Honestly, at this point, she could just die. She could just die. And I think this game would be hilarious.
大丈夫。
I'll be fine. I was sure, probably mostly I hoped. Oh my gosh. This girl's a clown.
ただいま。
Taima, I'm home.
お帰りなさいま。
Welcome home, miss. My stomach rumbled loudly, cutting Kasuga off, which, by the way, he used to bring her tea and snacks to her room. The body tells no lies. I slumped, hungry and exhausted. Kasuga smiled gently.
夕食までは時間がありますから、おやつをご用意しますよ。ご希望はございますか？
There's still time before dinner. Allow me to prepare a snack for you. Is there anything you'd prefer? What a wonderful idea. She can have a snack.
キラキラしてなくて、可愛くなくて。とにかくいっぱい。
Something that is not cute or fancy. Lots of it.
重症ですね。
I see this is bad. Yuki Soma was better at communication even with his prince facade. Oh my god, Yuki Soma. He also controlled rats. So hear me out. That man. I have a lot of thoughts about Yuki from Fruits Basket. He had so much power in his little hands. And like, he never wasted it either. He was trash at times, but he never wasted his power. Like, he would wear a dress to appease the masses. But he knew he was a man. You know what I mean? This is
で
bad.
も、もしかなうなら、すみこさんの手料理が食べたい。栗の甘露に、かぼちゃの煮物、筑前煮。
I often say that Fruits Basket is where I got my description of love from because the episode where she goes to the girls' houses that are evil and mean and just biatches that are from the Yuki Soma fan club, and her friend goes with them and they're keeping like snide and making remarks, and she's like, If you love something, you are happy for it, even if it isn't with you. Yuki is happy with Toro, and you are being petty little bitches, and you're taking his happiness from him. So she's like, I am happy for Toro because she is smiling, even though she's not smiling with me like she used to. And I'm like, dude, bro, my life changed that day. Yuki's brother, yeah, Snake Man. Snake Man is my type. That's why I like the Snake Man personalities. It's why I like the long white-haired boy from Save the Villainess. It's why I probably like Anku. It's probably not. Sesshomaru was before him, so honestly, Sesshomaru's got his own bag of tricks. Listen, long white hair, weak. Weak in the knees. Also just overly bubbly and lovely. Such a great thing. He's so goofy, but fine, yeah. Just it's the I will smother you with affection personality, and I am down for that. I like when people are easy to read. You know what I mean? And that's what his brother is. He's easy to read. If possible, I would really love some of Sumiko's cooking, candied chestnuts, stewed pumpkin, vegetables, and soy sauce. The thought of her cooking alone was enough to make me salivate. I could remember the taste so well. I liked Momiji. I loved Momiji as a child. I had a Momiji plushie, and also my nickname has always been Bunny. My nickname was Bunny when Fruits Basket came out, so Momiji was my favorite out of obligation. But I'm gonna say this with not the utmost confidence, but most bunny related characters, not like people who are bunnies, but characters that are like defined as bunnies, great personalities. Momiji is so sweet. Momiji deserves the world. If I could some of her cooking right now, I would never want anything else, nothing at all.
ご用意して差し上げたいのですが、すみこさんは大奥様付きですので、本家から出るのは難しいかと。
I would love to do that, Miss. Unfortunately, Miss Sumiko is the Madame's chef. Bringing her away from the main estate would be difficult.
わかってる。言ってみただけ。
I know. I just thought I'd try asking.
すみこさんの休みの日にこちらへ来ていただくというのであれば可能かもしれませんが。
So it may be possible to request that Miss Sumiko make a trip out here on her day off. I shook my head. I couldn't take her day off away from her. If I asked, I know she would come right away. A commotion in the living room yanked me out of my thoughts. What's going on? I walked over to see what was happening. Inside the room, I saw an enormous pile of daifuku rice cakes stacked on the table, pyramid style.
お嬢さん、お帰りなさい。大福天国ですよ。もっと近くで見てください。
Hey Leah, welcome back. We have a whole bunch of daifuku cakes today. It's practically daifuku heaven. Come and look. Show me. Nayuta took me by the hand and guided me closer to the daifuku hill on the table. The smooth rice cake mochi cakes were stuffed so full of bean paste they looked fit to burst, and each was uneven, the hallmark of being handmade, my very favorite kind of daifuku cakes.
こ
Where
れ
did you
は
get these?
公園のおばあちゃんがくれました。みんなで食べなさいって。俺いっぱい食べるからこんなに。
The granny I see at the park gave them to me. She said I should share them with my friends. She knows how much I eat, so she said gave me a ton. Do go with them. Be a cat.
そう。
Really? Nayuta's words barely reached my ears. They were practically drowned out by the rumble of my stomach.
お嬢も早く食えよ。ザ・お袋の味だぜ。
Have some, babe. The granny's cooking's the real deal. Feed this
大
woman.
福って初めてだったけどすごく美味しいよ。羊くん、日本茶入れてくれる？
I've never had a daifuku cake before. It's rather tasty. Jeevis, could you pour some green tea, please?
かしこまりました。
Of course.
ささ、
Of
早
course,
く食べましょう。
diet.
もっちもちなんですから。
Come on, go on and dig in. They're really chewy and delicious. I resisted the urge to snatch one up for myself and stuff it in my mouth. Instead, I held out my hand to accept the cake Nayuta was holding out.
ちょっと待った。
Hold on, dude. Dude, I will grab like I need an ice pick. It needs to be tiny because I want to stab him at least 100 times. Hold it.
ナユタ、その手に持っているものを下ろしてもらおうか。
Nayuta, put that down now.
大福をですか？
The what down? The daifuku cake? Nayuta looked confused, but he still lowered the hand holding the daifuku cake.
彼
No.
女のためのスイーツなら俺がちゃんと用意してある。おかしなものは食べさせないでくれ。
I've already prepared proper sweets just for her. I'd appreciate if you'd stop trying to feed her garbage that strange ladies give you in the park.
おい、一夜、そりゃねえぜ。この大福のどこがおかしいんだよ。
Ichiya, bro, that's uncalled for. What's wrong with daifuku cakes? They're great.
甘さもちょうどいい具合だしね。
They're perfect. Not too sweet, not too bland.
そうだそうだ。おばあちゃんはすごい料理上手なんですから。
Yeah, they're right. My granny friend is really good at cooking. Exactly. I can tell they'll be delicious just by looking at them. Though he was attacked from all sides, Ichiya simply shrugged his shoulders and shook his head.
気づいてないのかい？その大福には粉がついてるだろう。つまり食べたらどうなる？
Maybe the reason Asia isn't here is because she would always be mad. Asia voted for this game. That's hilarious if she chose to be gone. Oh goodness. That's hilarious. Alright, don't tell me none of you noticed those daifukus are bursting with powdered sugar. Do you have any idea what will happen when you eat them?
おいしい？
They taste really good.
違う。口の周りが真っ白になるだろう。それはレディーを恥ずかしめる行為だよ。
Okay, hear me out. My favorite donut is the one that has cream in it, and it typically is covered in powdered sugar. You know what you do? You wipe your face off. Like, what is this? Hi, Asia and VOD views. I am calling you out too. Why the VOD viewers? You'll get white powder all around your mouth. What proper lady could bear that humiliation? He wasn't going to listen to them. Keeping my tone reasonable, I spoke up.
一夜さん、私も大福は大好きよ。それにせっかくいただいた。
But yeah, I enjoy daifuku cakes too. Besides, they're a gift we
分
received.
かってる。君はいい子だ。作った人間の心を考えてきれいに食べてあげるだろう。
I know. You're the type of kind and caring person who always thinks of others' feelings. I'm sure you would eat them neatly too.
だがそんな君にだか
They
ら
can
こ
skip
そ
this.
味はもちろん食べやすさや可愛らしさに配慮すべきなんだ。
Oh gosh, but you deserve better because you're so lovely. You deserve something that is tasty, of course, but also easy to eat. Something cute and dainty. Ichiya snorted in contempt and continued.
その大福は所詮近所のおばあちゃんが作った家庭料理。可愛さのかけらも感じられないよ。
Those daifuku cakes were made by some middle-class grandma, the very picture of bland suburban cooking. Nary a cute nor classy crumble abound on those cakes. Would you stop insulting people?
これはお嬢さんの口には合わないね。というよりお嬢さんに似合わない。
Imagine saying, I want to fucking eat one, and then he goes, no you don't. Commoner cooking isn't suited to Leah in the least. It's nowhere near good enough for her palate. Does it suit me? My brows furrowed. Something about Ichiya's words struck me as
じゃあ
off.
何なら似合うの？
Oh, then what cooking suits me?
それはもちろんカラフルで可愛いトッピングにまでこだわったスイーツかな。
Someone throw a zipper in this man's face and make him shut the duck up? Yeah. Something dainty and colorful, of course. Cute and clever, with every last touch perfectly placed.
女の子が好きそうなとびきりのね。
You deserve only the fanciest, only the very best. Snap. I felt something inside me break.
そんなものより大福の方がいいって言ったら
And if I told you that I'd prefer a normal daifuku cake to anything fancy?
大福は女の子らしくない？それを私が好きだったら失望するわけ？
Are these cakes not girly enough? For the record, we all know what a daifuku cake is, by the way, right? We all know, right? For the record, if we're gonna talk about daifuku cakes, I'm googling them right now. These are the cutest freaking. I just want to open this picture. Like these are. We got this. You better believe me. You better. Like this is what they look like. These are friggin'. This is an example of what they look like. Sometimes they're square and they have designs on them. They are made to be adorable. Like they're not just like. What's in them? It's a bean paste. So there's different fillings you can put, but typically it's red bean paste. It's just nom 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 nom. They're just squishy and delicious. And typically they are bite-sized. Like you can eat one in a single bite. Sometimes they're bigger. But they're just super yummy. But oh my god. I can eat 100 of those. I can easily eat 100 of those. And him complain about the powdered sugar, because again, like I said, they're usually like bite-sized. They're usually not bigger than like that, like that. They're not very big. That's a big one. They're usually smaller than that. This girl show snapped a long time ago. I don't know why she hasn't. Because like they made it sound like she's an aggressive person. Even her grandpapa has been like not nice to her because she's an aggressive person. And she was showing her true colors for a while, and then all of a sudden she's like, you know what? I'm reserved now. I'm like,
お嬢さん
Ooh. I glared at Ichiya as I held up my hand towards Nayuta again.
その大福ちょうだい。
Give me that daifuku cake this instant.
はい。
Oh yeah, right. The cake flopped into my hand with a weighty thump. I opened my mouth wide and chomp. Gobble, 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 gobble. She basically is Chino. I stuffed the entire fist-sized cake into my mouth, my mochi stuffed cheeks swelling outwardly as I chewed. Swallowing the giant mouthful, I wiped my mouth with the back of my hands, leaving a big white streak behind.
もう一個。
Another.
はい。
Yes, ma'am. Maruta obeyed, handing me another plump daifuku cake. I shoved it into my mouth and wolfed it down as quickly and crudely as the first.
お嬢様、お茶を。
Miss Leah, here, tea.
皆さん、お疲れ様でした。
Hi, Tweet! Yay! I took the cup and slammed it, washing down the last of the second cake.
それから口というか顔をお拭きください。粉まみれで妖怪のようですよ。
Kasuga, I'm gonna have you take a step all the way back. I usually adore you, but right now, not your time. I didn't see the notification. It's Mina-san! Dokotaku desu ka? I can't think of what it says. Please wipe your mouth. Well, your entire face. You're so dusted with powdered sugar you look like a ghost. Oh, let's see.
でしょでしょ。
Oh no, hang on. I fixed it. We're better now. I accidentally put it on Don't See because I thought it was Discord. That was my bad. Thank you. Thank you for being here with me. I took the hand towel he handed me and resisted the urge to tell him to shut up. After I wiped the last of the powdered sugar from around my mouth, I turned my best smile on Nayata.
すごく美味しかったわ。ごちそうさま。お友達のおばあ様によろしく伝えてね。
Thank you, Nayota. Those were delicious. Please give my regards to your grandmother friend.
はい。絶対に伝えます。
Yesums, I'll absolutely definitely will. Nayota nodded so hard I was afraid his head would snap. I giggled and then turned to look at Ichiya. Contemptuously. His gaze held mine fearfully. I saw his eyebrow twitch as he moved back one step.
ねえ、一夜さん。
Ichiya?
な
Yeah.
私はね、確かに女の子よ。でもね、 ご飯はたくさんおかわりするし、口の周りが真っ白になっても大福が好き。
I am a girl, yes, but I still like large portions when I eat. I will also ask for seconds, even thirds, and I like daifuku cakes even if sugar gets on my face.
それに洋食より和食派なの。
Also, I like Japanese food better than Western food.
え？
But
可愛いものだってもちろん好きよ。用意してもらったものならきちんといただきたいとも思ってる。
the girl can
でも
tear it
ね、
up. That's crazy. I do like cute things. I appreciate that you cook for me. It tastes good and I will eat every bite, but I finally understood why his remark had struck me as strange. Ichiya hadn't been trying to make me happy at all. This whole time, he had been cooking according to how he believed a normal girl
あなた
should
は
be.
私のことなんかこれっぽっちも考えてない。
You have not been cooking for me for this entire time. Ichiya stared at me absolutely godsmacked.
なゆたくん、
Nayuta?
はい。
Yesum?
大福もう一つもらっていい？
May I have another daifuku cake?
はい。
Yesums. I don't know why it's doing yesums. You timidly sidle it. Gosh, this is the third time this word has popped up. It's not a real word. My sister has said this word after I showed her the literal clip I made of me not being able to say this word, and she's like, bro. And I'm like, sidled? Sidlide? Sidlad. Solided. It's not sidlided. Up to me and gently placed another cake in my hand. I just made sure that was what happened. If I met a man like Ichiyo one day, I'll call them an anomaly. I shot Ichiyo one last glare before I empathetically turned my back on him and left the living room. Oh, I miss his face? Well, he can bite it.
ああ、ついにお嬢が切れた
Ooh,
な。
baby finally
でも
snapped.
大福は喜んでくれました。おばあちゃんに早くお礼言いたいな。
But she really liked the daifuku cakes. I have to go tell Granny my thing.
確かに、今までで一番うまそうに食ってたな。
She did seem to prefer them to anything else she's had.
ですよね。お嬢さん、こういうのが好きだったんだ。
Right? I'm surprised that this is the kind of stuff that Leah really likes.
一夜顔青いけど大丈夫？
Ichiya, you're really pale. Are you alright?
本当だ。一夜さんもおばあちゃんの大福食べて元気出してくださいよ。
He's right here. Have one of Granny's daifuku cakes. It'll give you
そうだ
strength.
ぜ。まあ、お嬢も女受けするテンプレ飯に飽きたってことだろう。次からもっとシンプルにいけって。
Yeah, imagine if he just gave her friggin' curry like she wanted. Like she hinted at. Bro, cheer up. I figure she just got sick of your dainty girly food you kept trying to feed her. Next time try something simple, like seriously.
小鳥ちゃんが言い続けてた普通をちゃんと理解できるといいね。
Indeed, I hope you finally come to understand what she means by the normal meals she's been asking for.
あれは完全に地雷でしたね。
You certainly did hit a nerve with that one remark.
地雷？どういうことだ？
A nerve? Which remark?
お嬢様は三森様のおっしゃった似合わない家庭料理でお育ちになられましたので。
The commoner cooking you so confidently declared didn't suit her was the kind of cooking Miss Leah most enjoyed growing up. It's also bomb. Alrighty. Repentance, regrets, and? I hit all the wrong buttons. Well, I can spell, but if my fingers are over by one, all the words are going to be wrong. And dot, 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 question mark. Should I apologize? No. I looked at my reflection in the mirror. It didn't give me an answer. I didn't think that what I did yesterday was wrong per se. I do like common suburban style cooking, and I don't think it's polite to nitpick food given as a gift, but maybe I went a little overboard with my reaction. I couldn't think of a good answer. I eventually gave up and plopped downstairs. Did I not go downstairs for dinner last night?
おはよう。
Good morning. I peeked into the dining room. Kasuga greeted me with his usual smile. For some reason, he was holding a bowl of miso
お
soup.
はようございます。今、朝食をご用意しますね。
Good morning, miss. I'll prepare breakfast for you right away. Confused, I looked around the dining room. Shion was there, along with Taiga and Narita, no one else.
なんだお嬢、キョロキョロして。一夜なら家で中だぞ。おお、春日の味噌汁うまいな。
What are you looking around for, babe? If it's Ichiya you want, he ran away from home. Damn, Kasuga's miso soup is pretty good. Taiga offhand comment caught me entirely off guard. I wasn't sure I heard it correctly.
家で
He ran away from home?
昨日フラフラっと出て行ってまだ帰ってきてないんですよ。
Yeah, last night he kind of wandered outside. He hasn't came back yet.
探しには行かないの
And no one's out there looking for him?
あいつだっていい大人なんだ。腹減りゃ戻ってくんじゃねえのか。あ、
He's
こ
an
れいた
adult.
だ
He'll
き。
be fine. I'll figure he'll wander on back here when he gets hungry enough. Oh, I'll have me a bit of that.
あ、俺の酒！
That's my fish.
うっせえ、おかわりすりゃいいだろ。春日はケチケチしねえんだから。
Oh, shut up. Just ask for more. Unlike somebody I could name, Kasuga isn't stingy about making enough.
もうそうですけど！
But still, it's mine.
小鳥ちゃんも早く朝ごはん食べよう。
Come
和
on,
食
Leo.
好きなんだよね。
Let's hurry and eat breakfast. You said you enjoy Japanese food, right? Shion had no sooner said that than Kasuga appeared carrying a tray with my breakfast on it.
さあ、早く食べないと遅刻しますよ。
Go on, miss. Hurry, you'll be late. Yay. As told, I started to eat my breakfast, but Ichiya's running away. Girl, get ready. He's doing you a favor. I hadn't meant to hurt him. Well, I did. Certainly not badly enough that he left like he had to run away into the night. I wondered what he had felt when he left. What was he thinking? What did he hope to do? If anything, will he really come back? With all the questions lodged in my chest, it was a wonder I managed to push my breakfast past any of them. What?
それで今朝
Wonder
は
I
もう
managed
家
to
に
push
い
my
なかった
breakfast
の
past any of them. What? And when I woke up in the morning, he had disappeared. Lunchtime, Sumiji and I sat together. After I finished telling her the story, she
だ
nodded.
から今日はお弁当じゃないんですのね。
Oh, no wonder you didn't bring a packed lunch with you today. I looked down at my plate, full of food that I can eat. Sumiki sighed. Leah. Her voice was unexpectedly stern. I felt my shoulders slump. When I looked up, I saw her smile brightly at me. But her eyes were cold as ice.
私、ご忠告しましたわよね。彼らの前で態度を取り繕ってはならないと。
I warned you, correct? I told you it wasn't wise to wear your public face in private. Yeah, but you warned me the same day I snapped. So, like, honestly, this is your fault, Sumiki. You did.
もちろん素朴な家庭料理をけなしたり、女子はこうだという方にはまった三森さんの考え方はいただけませんわ。
Yes, Mr. Mitsumori is at fault for insulting food that isn't gourmet and for assuming all girls enjoy cute, dainty food.
ですけれど、
But
あなたはそれに対して和食が好きだ、おかわりがしたいと一度でも伝えたことがありまして。
did you let him know you prefer Japanese food to Western? Did you ever ask him for seconds, even once, Leah? All I could do was shake my
それ
head.
ではあなたの要望を知る手立てはありません。今回の件はあなたが見栄を張ったことも要因の一つです。
Then how could you expect him to know what you wanted? Your vanity and reluctance are equally at fault for your current situation. Imagine someone just making you food and never even asking you what your preferences are to begin with.
三森さんがお弁当を届けに来た時、あなたは嬉しいと言いましたもの。それを希望に添えたと感じるのは当然ですわ。
When he came here to deliver you lunch one day, you said you liked it. Is it any wonder that he thought he was giving you what you wanted after that? Tsumaki was right. I thought back on our talk at the school gate that day and the happy expression on his face because he was reacting to my facade. He said he was glad I enjoyed the lunch he made, holding my hand with his cold one.
やっとあなたのツボを見つけたと喜んだ矢先、突然ブチギレられた。
He must have thought he had finally found the ticket to making you happy and you ripped it up in his face.
さぞ三森さんはショックだったでしょう。
It must have
気の
been
身
such
気の
a
ままで
terrible shock for the poor
行方
man.
をくらませてしまうくらい。
So much so that he couldn't help but vanish into the night carrying nothing but the clothes on his back.
悪かったとは
I do feel bad about that. That was a reason. There was a reason he kept forcing skimpy meals on me. It was because I responded positively to them. I gave him the reaction he wanted to see. I balled my fist and looked down, racked with guilt. Tsumaki gave me a wary
あな
grimace.
たは他人の期待に応えようと一生懸命になる方ですわ。
Don't feel bad about
もち
him,
ろん
bro. I don't
それ
feel
は
bad
素晴
about
らし
him,
い
but
美
I
点
also
です。
don't feel bad for her either because she was stupid. She literally wasn't doing anything else. If she was going to act that way about her food, then she should have been snilling snacks. She should have ate that lunch she had brought to the school the other day in the car on the way to school and then still had her school lunch and then she could have still kept up her facade. I'm saying I could keep the facade up better than she did. My goodness. You try so hard to live up to others' expectations of you, Leah. You desire to give people what they want. That is, of course, a wonderful virtue.
でも相手ときちんと向き合いたいのなら本当の自分を見せることも大切ですのよ。
But if you want someone to communicate with you honestly, you have to let them know who you really are. I know.
まあ気になる殿方には小食で可愛いスイーツが好きな
They're
乙女
both
だと
idiots.
思われ
What
た
you're
い気
saying
持
is
ちは
they're
わ
a
かりますけれど、
perfect pair. They belong together. I suppose you can understand why a maiden in love would want the gentleman she fancies to think she was a has a dainty appetite and likes cute
そ
sweets.
うね乙女
Sure, sure it does.
でちょっと待って、何よ今の話の流れ。
Wait, a maiden in love? Where do you think you're taking this
あ
conversation?
らそういうことではなくて、三森さんには大食いと思われたくない、ダサめの料理が好きだとバレたくない。
Maybe together they can make a full brain cell? Maybe. Or is it not that is that not what this was about? You didn't want Mr. Mitsumori to think you were a glutton or liked unfashionable boring food, correct?
つまり可愛い女子だと思われたい。
In other words, you wanted
こうい
him
うこ
to
とで
think
は？
of you as cute and desirable. That's how a smitten maiden acts.
そんなわけないでしょ。
I do not. Tsumaki only looked at me and smiled. I felt my face grow hotter and hotter. That is not it. It's not at all. I mean, me and Ichiya? No, 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 no,
萌えですわ。
no. Oh, so adorable. I fixed her with disgruntled glare.
今なんて？
What was that?
とにかく
Anyway, Tsumaki pretended not to hear. She continued her lecture cheerfully.
今は仲直りすることを考えましょう。彼の居場所がわからないのであればミスを送ってみてはいかが？
Right now, let's focus on mending any troubles between you. If you don't know where he is, perhaps you should send him a wish message and ask, oh shoot, we had a wish message.
ご機嫌はいかがかな？
We'll have to listen to it later. I totally forgot. Oops. Well, there wasn't any other way I could find out. I reluctantly nodded and Tsumaki smiled. Evening came. Ichiya still hadn't returned by the time dinner arrived. I glumly looked at the spread of takeout sushi that was set before me instead of his cooking.
ああ、タイガさん大トロ4つ目。
Taiga, stop hogging the fatty tuna.
お前がトロトロしてんのが悪い。
You better tune up your reflexes and move faster.
今のってトロとトロトロかけてるんですか？
That wasn't funny.
うっせえ。
Shut up.
羊くん、ここの店いい素材使ってるね。僕気に入ったよ。
Why are we caring about that loser? Because it's his route. Say, Jeeves, this restaurant uses some quality ingredients. I think I like them.
お口に合ったようで何よりです。
I'm glad dinner meets your approval. Kasuga gave a small bow to Shion before coming to stand beside me.
お嬢様はいかがですか？
Are you enjoying dinner as well, Miss Leah?
うん
I suppose.
それならよろしいのですが。
That's good then. Having heard my answer, he stepped away. Narita spoke up, a cheerful, satisfied look on his face.
ああ、せっかく美味しいお寿司なんだからみんなで食べたかったな。
That was good sushi. I wish we could have all ate it together, though.
イチヤさん、早く帰ってくるといいですね。
I sure hope Ichiya is homeward bound. Narita's smile was bright, innocent. I couldn't bring myself to say anything. After dinner, I went up to my room and slid into bed. There, I sat staring at my phone for half an hour. I tried to do as Tsumigi had suggested and send a wisp message to Ichiya, but even after all this time, the screen was still blank. The only thing I had typed was the recipient's name. I knew what I wanted to say, that wasn't the issue. The problem was the things I wanted to say sounded childish and petulant. Or petulant? Petulant? Petulant. Petulant child is a good sentence, so when I transcribed them, what should I say to him? Just say friggin' sorry, loser. I was tempted to toss my phone to the side and go to sleep, but I kept hesitating. I heaved a sigh, tried once more to think of something to say. Narita's worried about you. Why on earth would I tell him that? I'm sorry about yesterday. I hurt him badly. Was an apology via text sufficient? Well, he's not here. He might as well try. Where are you? That came across a bit too clingy. Hurry and come back home. That makes me sound a little desperate. Girl, you're thinking too hard. Just bro, where you at? My emotions spun in circles, the minutes kept ticking away. Please get in touch. I typed a message, hit send, and blopped back onto my bed. That's the best I can manage. I rolled over, holding my breath a moment. I brought my phone back in front of my face and checked the screen. The message was still unread. It didn't seem like he was checking his text. Is he asleep? Maybe his phone battery's dead. Could he be ignoring me? Yeah, send him a gif. Send him a gif of a dancing cat. Imagine. For some reason, the worst answer felt like the correct one. A little shiver danced up my spine. Could I have phrased my message a little better? Was sending him a wish message a bad idea? Maybe I just made things worse. I laid in bed, battling waves of regret when I heard Kasuga's voice from the far side of the door. Miss, are you still awake? Lie. Lured by his familiar voice, I got up and opened the door for him.
もう寝るところ。あの人は
I was about to go to sleep. Have you heard anything from him?
あの人とは？
Him who?
一夜さん。
Ichiya.
ああ、帰ってきていませんよ。気になるのですか？
Him. He has yet to return. Are you concerned for him? Kasuga looked bemused. I was speechless for a second.
別に心配とかじゃないわよ。ただ仮にも花婿候補が無断外泊とか音信不通はルール違反というか。
I'm not worried for him per se. I'm concerned that one of my suitors is spending a night out without permission, which is against the rule.
だから帰ってきたらペナルティを。
If so, there must be a penalty.
ええ。ペナルティは花婿候補脱落です。
The penalty is expulsion from the suitor's pool. What?
このまま行けばの話ですが、そうなればお嬢様にとっても好都合。無職の手に負えない相手が一人消えますね。
Provided he does not return soon? Wouldn't that be the most convenient for you, Miss Leah? It means one less unemployed layabout to deal with. Yes, but yeah, that's it. It's fine. Do you want to marry him?
嬉しくはないのですか？
Doesn't that make you happy? Kasuga's bright grin brought me back to myself.
嬉しいわよ、当然でしょ。あの甘ったるい口説き文句を聞かないで済むなんて。はあ、せいせいする。
Of course, I'm happy about it. Why wouldn't I be? I'd finally be free of all those corny pickup lines. That would be such a relief.
今日からぐっすり寝られそうだわ。それじゃあ、おやすみ。
The thought alone will comfort me as I go to sleep. Good night.
良い夢を。
Pleasant dreams. I managed not to slam my door, but my feet felt like they were rooted to the floor. I couldn't take a step, expelled from the pool of suitors. Kasuga's words echoed in my head over and over. I should be happy. It was something I thought I wanted. Why did this leave me with such a bad taste in my mouth? It doesn't. It wasn't shame. I didn't feel apologetic. This was something I hadn't felt before. I felt my eyes drop, trying to figure out what was causing that weird weight in my chest. Slowly, I turned my phone and opened up the Wiz app. The message was still unread. Call him, I guess. Dude, what do you want? Things here. Bistro ICHIYA. He still hasn't checked his messages. He's no longer a candidate. You should be so happy. I sighed and slipped my phone into my pocket. I'd lost count of the number of times I'd sighed since last night. Feeling gloomy, I mumbled to myself, you could at least reply. Ugh.
Good morning! 太陽が気持ちいい朝だね。
Good morning, my sweet, and what a beautiful sunny morning it is. An unmistakably schmaltzy voice rang out. What? I looked up, not sure I believed my
君
ears.
は今日も幸せかな？
I hope you have had a spectacular morning so far. I knew it. Waltzing into the living room with a spring in his step was none other than the source of my recent tribulation.
ちょっと、なんで？家出は？
What on earth? Why are you... Didn't you run away?
家で？
Run away? Ichiya looked at me clearly
だっ
confused.
て、ウィスにも返信がなかったし。
You didn't reply to my wish message?
何か送ってくれてたのかい？充電が切れてて。
What? You messaged me? Oh, sorry, my sweet. See, this is the part I hate about him. That. My phone battery died. I didn't get a chance to charge it.
今までどこに？
And where in the world have you been?
ああ、ごめんね。話は後で。急ぎの用があるんだ。
Did you hold that thought? I've actually got a rush errand to take care of. We'll talk later, okay? Still dazed, I watched Ichiya dash into the foyer and slip on his shoes, and as he stepped out the door...
今夜は忘れられない夜にするからね。
Really feel like a side chick moment. Kinda. He's married. Well, he did have marriage fraud as one of his things. Just wait, I'll make tonight a night you won't forget. The door closed with an abrupt click. I stared at it as I tried to comprehend what just happened.
その後、雲隠れの彼から音沙汰はありまして？
Have you received any word from the gentleman who slipped into the night, shall we say?
音沙汰？
Heard from him? Sumigi was smiling pleasantly, unaware that her question prompted a vein to start throbbing in my head. Oh yes, I've heard from him. He returned this morning. He waltzed in without a care in the world. I looked down at my hands and realized my clenched knuckles had gone white.
あんなやつ、もう知らない。
Him? Who cares about him? I certainly don't.
あの？
Sumigi's smile faded into a puzzled expression when she saw my vehement reaction. Yeah, that's a word.
お帰りなさいませ、お嬢様。
Welcome home,
いかがでした
Suya.
か？ カノ様とのお茶会とお買い物は。
Miss Leah, did you enjoy your afternoon of shopping and tea with Miss Kano? Another day of impulse buying and venting to Sumiki. Kasuga was well aware of that too. His sarcasm-tinged smile was not lost on me. It set my teeth on edge. He walked past me, opened the trunk of the car, and observed its contents with a bright voice.
これはずいぶん楽しんで来られたようで。
Certainly seems like you had a fun
そ
time.
れくらい普通でしょ。
We made a perfectly reasonable number of purchases. There was nothing reasonable about that number. I knew that better than anyone. Kasuga turned to look at me, still wearing his all-knowing smile. I found something else to look at. I'm home. I barely stepped inside the door when Narita came flying into the foyer from the living room.
お帰りなさい。もうお帰りですか？
Oh gosh, welcome back. You're home already?
ええ。
Yes.
実は今いろいろありまして。
Ah, well, you see, stuff kind of happened.
は？
Stuff.
間違えました。いろいろないです。本当何もなくて困っちゃうな。
Yeah, I was kind of really wrong. So a lot of stuff didn't actually happen so much. Nothing happened. It was kind of a problem. And, Kasuga cut off Narita, who was flailing around for reasons that were not the least bit clear to me.
まずは部屋で着替えをなさってください。ね。
Can you please give the miss a chance to go to her room and change out of her uniform?
そうですよ。着替え大事。お願いします。
Right. Changing is good. Changing is important. Go ahead.
さあ、参りましょう。
Now, if you please, miss.
じゃ。
Kasuga gave me a firm push from behind, steering me up into my room. What in the world got into everybody today? First, it was Ichiya this morning, and Narita is extra hyper. I changed into normal clothes and went back down to the living room. Still confused, I opened the door and...
待ってたぜ、お嬢。お楽しみの始まりだな。
Hey babe, we were waiting for you. The fun's about to get started.
それじゃあ始めようか。
Well then,
楽し
shall we
い
begin?
楽しい。
I look forward to
ね。
having ever so much fun. Fun? What's supposed to be fun? When they use the word fun, often meant terrifying. My three suitors, still smiling suspiciously, dragged me into the dining room, even as my heart beat like a drum. Okay. Flanked by Shion and Taiga on either side, I had nowhere to go but inside the room, behind which I found Ichiya standing in an apron. Making visual contact with Ichiya usually meant enduring the pickup lines he reflectively lobbed at me, but this time he didn't say a word. He inhaled that.
まずは謝らせてほしい。
Let me apologize.
俺はお嬢さんの言う通り、普通の女の子が喜ぶことしか考えず、君自身を見ていなかった。
Mood. Actually, wait, nope, hang on. No. No. It's fine. I was gonna make it longer than 20 minutes because that felt like the right thing to do. Too tired. You were right, Leah. I was only thinking about how to please normal girls. I hadn't seen you as a person at all.
俺の自己満足を押し付けて、申し訳なかった。
What I did was just pure self-gratification, and I tried to push it all on you. I'm sorry. Ichiya gave me a formal bow and apology. I knew I had to say something, but I couldn't find any words. I was thinking about apologizing to him. He stood there in silence for a few moments, then Ichiya slowly straightened his back.
これからは君自身と向き合いたい。だから挽回のチャンスをくれないか。
From now on, I want to be sure I'm looking squarely at you. Will you give me a chance to redeem
挽
myself?
回のチャンス？
To redeem yourself? I had no idea how to answer that. The other three decided to interject as I stood frozen at a loss for words.
というわけで、ここからは俺らが仕切らせてもらうぜ。
Yeah, from here on out, let us run the show. Huh?
さあいらっしゃい。一夜限りの夢の店、ビストロ一夜へようこそ。
Come one, come all, step inside our one night only super duper cafe of dreams, Bistro ICHIYA. Yay! Applause! Yay! Taiga spoke this part aloud too.
この店ではたった一人の女の子のために彼女が本当に食べたいと思う料理を一夜シェフがご提供します。
This bistro was opened by Chef ICHIYA, so he can provide one special young lady with precisely the meals she wished to eat, correct?
はあ、任せてくれ。腕によりをかけて最高の晩餐にしてみせる。
Yep, just leave it to me. I'll make tonight the greatest feast you've ever
うわ
had.
ーすごいね、すごいですよね。
Wow, great, Nito. This is super spiffy, isn't it?
ええ
I suppose. I blinked, still trying to wrap my mind around the cooking show suddenly unfolding around me.
さて、本日のお客様、オーダーは？
Welcome, guests. What would you like to order? Order. I did not expect the question and was left searching for words. Shion looked at me and smiled gently.
ここは君が本当に食べたいと思う料理を何でも出してくれる魔法の店なんだよ。だから素直な気持ちをそのまま言って。
I'm more inclined to believe it as Shion says it because I'm pretty sure he's not of this world, but this is a magical restaurant where whatever dish you truly wish to eat will be presented to you. Don't be shy. Speak the culinary wish dwelling in your heart. No pretenses, no polite fiction, simply what I actually want, nothing more. Sumigi said I should too. I took a small breath and then looked at ICHIYA right in the eyes. He was nervous. I could tell that much. Making up my mind, I said,
和食がいい。
more specific, please. I want Japanese food, please.
ごく普通の一般的な気取ってなくて平凡ででも温かい家庭料理でお腹をいっぱいにしたい。
Something completely normal, completely ordinary. It needn't be fancy at all, just some warm, comforting home cooking and a generous portion of it. Marita clearly waited for his cue, promptly piping up with a cheerful smile.
オーダー。お嬢さん好みの和食コース。
Order in, chef. One Japanese dinner to Leah's liking. Is this cute?
オーケー。期待しててくれ。
Roger, sit back and wait. I'll have it right up. ICHIYA gave me a confident wink, then strutted over to the stove. Did he actually understand me? I hoped he did, desperately. I sat politely at the table. Are we gonna sit here and watch him cook? Because cooking usually takes time. And I'm gonna be real, when I cook, I watch a movie. Like, all the feelings I'm getting are negative ones. You're just sitting here in this scene that should be like a +1, +1, +1 towards like charm, charisma, romance, and you're just going negative, 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 negative. I sat politely at the table, sending frantic mental prayers to whomever was listening as I watched ICHIYA. After a moment, Taika sauntered over.
あいつはとんでもねえキザでアホで勘違いしまくりの格好つき野郎だ。お嬢もそう思うだろ？
Yeah, the dude's a poser, a schmuck, and a try-hard ding-dong. Okay, hang on.
ああ、適当に変えちまえ。
Just doing this because anytime there's something, like there's no outline around the words, and it's just making it hard to read this sometimes. The dude's a poser, a schmuck, a try-hard ding-dong who can't catch a clue to save his life. You know that, right, babe?
けどな、あれで結構必死に考えてる。だから今日だけはあいつのことちゃんと見ててやってくれ。
But he's still giving things as much thought as he can manage. Think you could do him the favor of seeing him for who he is just for today? Taika gave me a crooked smile. I simply nodded. A trash? Time passed, and soon plates were carried from the stove and piled before me on the kitchen table. None of them were plated in a cute fashion. None of them were fanciful, exotic, or unusual. All of them were familiar, warm, and steaming with delicious aromas.
これは肉じゃが。少し甘めにしてみたんだ。こっちはカレイの煮付けと茶碗蒸し。ひじきの煮物に味噌汁の具は豆腐とわかめ。
I made the nikujaga beef stew a little on the sweet side. There's curried fish, egg custard, and stewed soybeans and seaweed. The miso soup has tofu and wakame. And last but not least, he placed a small bowl filled to the brim with hot, fluffy white
どう
rice.
ぞ召し上がれ。
Go on and dig in.
いただきます。
Thank you for the meal.
いただきます。
Itadakimasu. I put my hands together in polite prayer, still looking at the food spread in front of me. I never expected that Ichiya, of all people, would make common food, comfort food like this. Feeling slightly weird about it, I hesitantly took a sip of the miso soup. It was delicious. Miso is not hard to oh god, make? I was gonna say mess up, but that wasn't the word make. It's not hard to make. So anytime they compliment miso soup, I'm like, the only way really to mess up miso soup is to put like too much salt in it. Miso is like a broth to me, like okay. Not only that, it tasted almost exactly like the miso soup I'd grown up on. The flavor of the broth, just the right amount of miso. I couldn't help but let slip a happy, nostalgic sigh. And to top it off, it had tofu and wakame seaweed, my two favorite ingredients. The nikujaga, beef stew, and curried fish also tasted much like the dishes I loved as a child.
小鳥ちゃん幸せそう。
That's quite the look of bliss, Leah. I felt a little stab of embarrassment at Shion's word. I ducked my head and concentrated on my plate. My bliss. Next to me, both Narita and Taiga had already vacuumed up their first portion. Nearly in sync, they raised their empty rice bowls and said,
Ogari!
Ogari, second!
お嬢さんは
And, you, Leah? Ichiya's voice was soft, timid. I paused to think for a moment.
お願いします。
Yes, please. I want miso. It's been a minute since I've had miso, honestly. I held out my rice bowl and Ichiya's eyes gleamed. He took it over to the rice cooker. When he came back, it was piled high with just a little more than the average serving.
どうぞ。
Here you go. Have some rice, bro. Thanks. I forget she talks sometimes. It was the first time I'd asked Ichiya for second. This is not a moment, this is an actual meal. It was a dinner that made my heart as happy as my tummy. She's like, he fed me food. After everyone had a chance to eat their fill, Ichiya went back up to the stove. Returning to the table, he placed a small cute dish in front of me.
これ
Is this sweet potato? What is this? Oh, chestnuts. Little golden chestnuts swimming in plenty of sweet sauce. And over it all, a sprinkle of distinctive black sesame seeds. Oh my
食
god,
べ
she
てみ
did
て
it.
くれないかな。
Why don't you give it a try? I don't think I've ever had chestnuts. At Ichiya's urging, I picked up the little black toothpick and speared a chestnut. I held it up for a moment and then slowly put it in my mouth. Syrup that was sweet but not cloying, the mildness of tender chestnuts perfectly accented by the syrup's sweet kiss. I knew it. This is Sumiko's candied chestnut recipe.
君の懐かしい味になってるかな。
Is it close to the flavor, you know?
どうして
How? I was so moved I felt tears prickling in my eyes. Ichiya smiled and ducked his head self-consciously.
実は大福の件で君が部屋を出て行った後、
Here's the problem,
春
right?
日くんからすみこさんのことを聞いてね。
I already think he's trash and he makes his face whenever he's flirting with her, so I can't take this as he's seriously, genuinely like, oh my. I heard about Sumiko from Kasuga right after the whole daifuku cake fiasco in the living room.
君は彼女の家庭料理が大好きで、それで育ったようなものだって。
You told me that you really enjoy her homey way of cooking, that you were raised on it practically.
それでスミコさんに会えるよう春日くんに頼んだんだ。君の好きな味を教えてほしくて。
I asked if he could arrange for me to meet with her. I wanted her to teach me the recipes that you grew up loving.
それで帰ってこなかったの
That's why you vanished?
本当にいろいろ教わってきたよ。料理のことも 君のことも。
I learned a lot from her, both about cooking and about you. Looking up at Ichiya's smile, I said, "Why go that far, loser? Like, what do you think you're gonna get out of this?
テストに出るぜ。
Don't forget there's gonna be a test later. Please. Please no." Oh, he's got a buster sword? Wait, what?
あり
少し心が乱れているようですが。
Holy blade. Thank you. The words slipped out of my mouth with an ease that surprised
短い
even
期間
me.
でスミコさんから習うのは大変だったでしょ？
I mean, learning all this from Sumiko in such a short time had to be really tough. I felt like I'd waited an eternity for his text last night, but I'm sure that was the time. The time flew by for him while under Sumiko's tutelage. I did it. I looked down, abashed, but he only smiled kindly.
これくらいのこと当然だよ。君の心を傷つけた罪は重いからね。
It was the least I could do. Hurting you like I did is no small sin.
でも今日喜んでもらえて幸せだよ。俺の方こそありがとう。
I'm glad that my efforts paid off and I was able to make you happy today. Thank you for letting me. Make me happy. He says, I'm surprised he couldn't say that with a straight face. I had no idea what to say next, so I deliberately turned away. Though I wasn't looking right at him, I could still feel heat slowly rising in my cheeks.
俺は女の子を喜ばせる方法ならいくらでも知っている自信がある。
I like to think I know a lot of different ways to please girls of all types.
でも今喜んでほしいのは君で、俺が君に喜んでもらう方法はこれしか思いつかなかったんだ。
Right now, the one I want to please most is you, and this is the only way I could think of that might work.
だから喜んでもらえて本当によかった。
Very, very glad you liked it. I was used to seeing Ichiya's fake, cheesy smile all the time, but this one was different. It was the most natural, happiest grin I'd ever seen. Something about it was infectious, goading me to action. I took a deep breath.
私こそごめんなさい。
Ichiya, I'm sorry.
ちゃんと自分のことを伝えもしないで身を張って怒ってごめんなさい。
I put up a front and didn't try to tell you what I really wanted, then I blew up at you for not knowing.
そんな、お嬢さんは何も悪くないさ。俺が勝手に。
No, you didn't do anything wrong at all, Leah. It was entirely my fault for...
まあまあまあ。
Okay, yeah, well, we get it. Taiga suddenly interrupted us. He was looking at me with a particularly mischievous smirk.
あ、じゃあ、キスしてやれよ。
Go on, babe. Give him a kiss. Make up.
はあ？
What? Well, why should I? Is he serious? I desperately tried to contain my confusion while Taiga smiled at me like it was the most natural thing ever.
男がここまでやってんだぜ。褒美くらいやってもバチは当たんねえよ。
Come on, babe. The man went to hell and back for you. It won't hurt. Nothing to reward him a bit.
まあ一夜も頑張ったしね。今回だけなら。
I suppose Ichiya did make some significant efforts. I guess he's deserving of forgiveness just this once. Wait, really? I
キス？キスってキスですか？
A kiss? Like that kind of kiss? Really? They're gonna... Oh my gosh.
うっせえ。
Oh, shut up.
逆に痛い。
Look, Taiga, that hurts. Nayota rubbed the back of his head where Taiga had audibly smacked him.
いいだろ、お嬢。お前も粋な女ってとこ見せてやれよ。
Don't mind, do you, babe? Show him that you're a hip and hot woman. How's the game going? You can like the art style. We're in a lot of pain today. we're not in love with it. The story is what we're not in love with right now. She just learned that she needs to tell people she's hungry. Oh, she's been starving herself because he was making her tiny, tiny plates of food, and then she wasn't sneaking snacks. So she was literally dying of starvation slowly until she finally snapped and said she likes food. That is a plot point in this story. It's hurting us very much. You don't mind, do you, babe? Show him that you're hip with like, and he's also trying to get a kiss. Now.
Taiga.
He's not Taiga.
そんな無理強いは彼女だって困っているようだし。
She would not. She wouldn't tell him that she needs snacks. So basically, he makes her breakfast and dinner. She goes to school in the meantime. By the way, he's 26 and she's 17. Don't ask more questions. He started making her lunch too. And for some reason, she was eating the lunch at school when she could still just be eating the regular food she was eating at school. Or sneaking snacks on her way to school or from school or in her room. Instead, she was just choosing to starve. Jokes aside, that's a pretty lame story plot. Prim, who's suffering right now, actually spent a bunch of her cabbages last stream to change the game because of this plot point. Oh, Prim, I'm so sorry. Taiga, please don't push her. It's rude and you're making her uncomfortable.
一夜お
He
嬢に
knows.
キスしてほしくねえのかよ。
Don't you want a kiss?
それはもちろんしてもらえるのなら。
Sir, you are 26 years old. You are far too old. Far too old to be acting like that about kissing a 17-year-old. I'm definitely like it if she's willing to share one. Did someone just shove her? Ichiya trailed off, his eyes slipped over to me, and then quickly snapped back. I suppose Taiga did have a point. He does not have a point. Ichiya had done a lot for my sake. He didn't. I could show a little gratitude for it. Should you? In fact, I ought to. Oh, you only have 2.2. Oh, wait, how much is it to change? Oh, I think it's 10. Time's up, y'all. It's only been an hour, Prim, and you didn't pick a game. Right now, I think I could.
わかった。する。
I'll do it.
え
Bruh. Prim, how much money do you have in cabbages? Play ZZZ? What's ZZZ? Zelda? Which Zelda? More specific, please. Zenless Zone 0? I don't have that installed. I would die. How many gigs is that? Breath of the Wild? Okay. What is Zenless Zone 0? Oh, is this a gacha game? Are you telling me to play a gacha game? Unique, advance, remember where the protection pads and make sure your bang boo's shock. Whoa, wait a second. I just see someone on Reddit say that that game is 10% action and 90% snooze fest. There's a rule to the redeem switch my game. I have to own it, so. Don't drag her down the rabbit hole too. Ichiya's eyes popped open in shock and he looked at me and then froze. Dun dun dun.
するって言ったの。いいからかがんで。
I said I'll give you a kiss. Now bend down, you're too tall. I'm gonna screenshot that thing. I thought the game was fun.
記憶力はいい方なの。
But you love gacha games. That's the difference. You also love Genshin. Didn't you also play Hokkaido Star Rail? I feel like you have. Give me 2 seconds while I go grab my Zelda game. It's in the living room. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can check out my streams on Twitch. I stream about 3 times a week. And if you're watching this on Twitch, you can check out the VODs on YouTube. from our previous adventures that we've been on. We have been trying to play Variable Barricade now for 2 weeks, and we have not gotten very far. Hopefully it'll change. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you guys have a great night. I'll see if there's anyone to raid, but I hope you guys enjoyed today. Thank you. Bye.